Yes, guys. So I hope everyone's doing well. Obviously, I said to a lot of you guys that on Snap I wouldn't be able to kind of go over these trades because it was a bit complex and it would take me like at least I'd say 5 to 10 minutes. And obviously on Snap, it would have taken too long to kind of analyze it. But yeah, just to go straight into this video, gonna show you guys three AU trades from yesterday. I only managed to take one of them, but I'm gonna show you the other two that could have potentially got into, and they were really good trades from last week. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Let me get rid of that. Cool. By the way, guys, I don't have TradingView, what's it called, the premium subscription, so don't laugh at me, innit? But anyway. So to kind of go into the higher time frame, how I was perceiving it, so how I was perceiving it was, obviously we can see, looking at the market right now, we can see that we were heavily bullish like last week. Obviously now we're starting to go bearish. We started to kind of come down here, but obviously we're looking at through this kind of perspective. So just to go to a lower time frame, let me show you. Yeah, so lower time frame, as you can see, price, we're consistently making low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, high, high. So we can see we're in like a bullish trend. So how I perceived it in the moment was, as I was perceiving it, basically we had this kind of supply zone up here. So let me go to the 4 just to show you how much weight it holds. So obviously if we zoom out, we can see I drawn this box and it stemmed from all the way here, which was from, when was it? The 28th of December 2023. So last year, literally nearly a year. So it holds a lot of weight, and you can see from this point the price had a massive drop down. So it's a valid place to, even though we're bullish, it's a valid place to potentially look for sales. So how I perceive it when I'm looking at the market is, as soon as price comes into it, I'm looking for like an internal break or some kind of break or some kind of like shift of structure for me to look for a sell, right? So price taps into it here, and notice how I've drawn this trend line kind of liquidity. So as you can see, like how other traders would perceive it, like a trend line trader. Okay, cool, low, high. Okay, cool, I'm going to buy it here. Oh, it's reacted here again. Okay, cool, made a new high. Price has come back into it again, and it's made a new high. So people are going to keep buying, so that's potential liquidity. So I'm perceiving, I'm like, all right, cool. Price taps into it. As you notice, we get this minor break here. So my first initial thought when I saw that, I said, cool, this is how I done it. Got my short position. I'm like, yeah. At the relevant IFC, which we can see is, if we zoom in, we can see roughly around here where this imbalance is. So I said, perfect. Set my stop loss just above Asian range high, and obviously take it to this last demand zone. So I said, perfect. That's how I had it. But obviously, as we can see, what happened was price broke it, had a little reaction back up, and then had a massive push down. So I said to myself, cool, now we can't look for sales anymore. But then what I noticed was, if we go to the 2-hour time frame, let me show you. If we go to the 2-hour time frame, if you notice, look how price perfectly come back into this 2-hour demand zone. As you can see, if you look top left, 2-hour, price perfectly tapped into this 2-hour demand zone and had like a really good reaction. And obviously, look at this like beautiful IFC, like where this imbalance is. So price came to refill it. So I said, perfect. I said, I can potentially look for a buy. Let me show you guys. Let me go 5 minutes, actually. It'd be much easier to show you. So as soon as I saw that in the market, I said, perfect. Had a good reaction at 2 hours at demand zone, which holds a lot of weight. So I said, cool. As soon as price tapped into it, we can see we created like a 2-leg protocol. So let me show you. 2-leg protocol, low, high, high, low, high, high. So as soon as I saw this 2-leg protocol, like in my trading system, it's not the strongest confirmation, but still, like my whole point was, okay, cool. As soon as price comes here, this could potentially be the start of the liquidity grab as well. So started the liquidity grab, came into a 2-hour demand, and we got a 2-leg. That's a decent trade. I can't lie. That is a decent trade. Like, to get into that, I'm thinking, all right, cool. You know what? I'm going to take my chances. Like, that's quite a high probable setup. Obviously, 2-leg, like I said, is not the most high probable kind of entry signal, but I said, you know what, let me try get into it. So I said, all right, cool. As soon as I saw the 2-leg and saw this relevant IC, set a limit order right here. I tried to refine it just to get a good RR. As you can see, set my limit order right here. Price came up, made a new high. had a little retracement, but never fully came back into my IFC, so I was gutted. And obviously, you can see like the risk to reward. Look how crazy it is, like just over a 1 to 5.5, which is crazy. Like, it's just, for me to think about, it's mind blowing. And obviously, that was for, I was perceiving it as like I wanted price to make the new high, and obviously it didn't make the new high. So that's obviously, as soon as I'm seeing that, I'm thinking, cool. This is then obviously a liquidity grab, and obviously the liquidity grab made the new high. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. So obviously this was Tuesday the 24th. This is Wednesday the 25th. So the next day, basically. By the way, if I haven't said this already, this kind of blue box is just Asian range. It's just literally Asian session. So I kind of when I'm looking at the market, it kind of helps me. And obviously, if price takes out Asian range lows and highs, like they're kind of like good setups as well to kind of look at and bear in mind. So that's why it's there. But yeah, and then obviously the next day, this is just beautiful market structure. We can see again trendline liquidity. Price had a spike up, a massive drop down, showing like a bearish intention in the market and showing like how sellers are in control. And obviously we had equal lows here. Obviously with the trendline liquidity spike up, equal lows, that's just perfect for a limit order. That's beautiful. That is just beautiful. Obviously I know we're bullish and this is like counter trend, but it just shows the power of liquidity grab. So again here, let me show you guys. Set a sell limit right here. Stop loss just above that grab of liquidity out. It was roughly there. And obviously, as you can see, when price came down, it never fully came back into it. I still have my limit order just in case price was going to come back into it, but it never came all the way back, which I said, okay, cool. And this is like another second entry. So if you were to get into this one, you could have got into the second entry as well. But even if I didn't get into the first one, I could have still got into the second entry, but I didn't. I wasn't able to see this in time. But obviously here we can see even more trendline liquidity. We can see the equal highs, price spiked up, created a double top here, massive drop down. And obviously, like if you look at it like this, let's look at it like this: high, low, lower high, lower low. So obviously we can see that we're going bearish now. Obviously this is a beautiful second entry because we had a double top here, massive drop down, a spike up to potentially capture this liquidity, and then a drop down. As I'm seeing this double top just above this supply zone, like this is just again just another beautiful second entry, and the risk to reward on this trade is crazy. So stop loss just above this last high over here. Look at this. Let me show you. Crazy risk to reward. 1 to 9 risk to reward, which is just crazy to think about it. But this is literally just bread and butter. I can't lie. For this kind of strategy, it's just beautiful. But wasn't able to get into these trades, which I was gutted. So imagine from, let's say you made 5% here. Let's say you made, what was it, 9%, like you nearly up 20%, which is it's crazy to think about. And then the final trade, which I managed to get into, was, as soon as I see this kind of drop down, and obviously I was gutted I didn't get into it. My first initial thought was, okay, cool. If I was able to get into it, I could hedge it. So I could sell this down basically, and then just set a buy limit just to hedge it and see which way price is going to go. Is price going to continue to go down? I just hold this kind of trade and obviously get stopped at my buy limit. Or is price going to stop here? I can get out the trade and then my buy limit will take over and obviously look for, because obviously pro trend we're obviously bullish. So if we look at this pro trend, we're obviously bullish like that. So that's how I was perceiving it. Set a limit order. Let me show you guys the IFC. It was very refined, this one. This was on the 5-minute, but show you, obviously see this kind of IFC here where this imbalance was, and this red candlestick, and then the blue candlestick that had the massive push up. That was my 5-minute IFC, so I refined it well. So obviously to go across here, yeah, so stop loss, about a 13 pip stop loss, and my intentions was for price to make a new high, right, which obviously happened later on the next day. But how I perceived this one was obviously limit order. Obviously I was in the trade, and then what I noticed was there was even opportunities to get into second position. So for example, when price came up here, if we look to the left, we can see, if let me draw this out, see we had this internal breaker structure. So let me draw it just to show you guys. Internal BOS. As soon as I see an internal BOS, potentially, like, what could happen is price could have a little retracement down to go higher. So I was thinking of this in the moment, and with my emotions, I let them get the better of me, because I said to myself, okay, 4% up for the week. Do I really want to be emotionally attached to it? Like, do I want to be thinking to myself, oh, could I stomach like this kind of retracement for it to go higher? So I said to myself, well, it was around midday. I said, you know what, let me get out. I'll take 4% and call it a day. And obviously, as we can see, price came all the way down. If you notice, coming to this kind of IFC, tapped into it, and then had the massive push up. So I perceived that. I said, all right, cool. And obviously the next day, look how funny this is. Obviously, when this made a new high, this is the next IFC. So next day you wake up. Let's say if you wanted to get into a second entry, even this price came into it, you had this kind of internal break here. You could have set a limit order at this relevant IFC literally right here, and obviously price then eventually coming to the end of the day on a Friday, it made the new high about 3:30. So yeah, guys, I hope this video was useful, and yeah, we just go from there.